Hi, Keith. How are you?
Doing great, Mike.
Did you have a good week?
Oh, best week ever. Loving life. Here we are. I'm ready to go.
So our last episode did pretty decent for the first episode in so many years.
Yeah.
So,
I was real pleased with it. It sounded like we actually knew what we were doing.
it kind of did. And
Yeah.
we really didn't edit that much, if any.
Yeah.
I don't think we did, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, we had some good. We only had like 3 comments. But is
Yeah.
that good or is that bad? Does that mean
Maybe our listeners need some direction in how to comment or something like that.
okay? Well, we can start right there.
Yeah.
So you can comment below if you're watching YouTube. I don't know how you do it on Apple Podcasts.
Well, on YouTube, it says you can comment, but
there's also
there's a button you have to push.
Oh,
And then go somewhere and then type in stuff and hit save or something like that.
well, I'm sure most of the audience is smarter than I am.
I
They
don't
probably
know.
can figure it out.
And then there's that subscribe thing.
Oh yeah, that's really important. And thumbs ups. Give us some thumbs up.
Thumbs up, subscribe. So the subscribe, there's notifications that go out with that. So if we put up something new, you hit subscribe and your notifications are on, it'll tell you that we've made a new podcast. However, sometimes I don't turn notifications on. So I'm subscribed to so many different channels on
Same
YouTube.
here.
So, but if you really, once we get going on a regular basis, which is what we'd like to do, then
Excuse the mic there. I had to move
you
it.
wouldn't really need to hit subscribe so much because you could just pull it up and we'll be on there.
So when you subscribe, there's also the all. You want to get all messages from us because it will pick and choose. And we may have episodes out you will not see unless you select all. Now, you don't want to select all on all your YouTubes or
Right.
you're going to get bombarded.
Yeah.
But let us bombard you a little bit.
Yeah.
And it won't be that bad. It's
Yeah.
once a week, hopefully. But yeah, very important. That helps us tell us if people like what we're doing. I did notice, or Keith noticed. Now we had, I think it was 15 subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
before.
We're really popular.
And now we're
Yeah.
way up to what? 50.
56, 57, something like that.
But the good news is those are views, right?
We had 57 views and 55 subscribers.
So that tells us that people maybe liked the episode
Yeah,
and they liked what they heard. And if that's true, that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
it is.
So that's exciting. We're excited about it. And it sounds like a small number to probably some of you, but man, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll take it. Thank you.
Hey, what are we talking about today, Mike?
Well, as we mentioned last time, the Mandela Effect.
The Mandela Effect.
And I think
Is a mandala something you draw? Isn't that like a
draw?
yeah, isn't like a pattern you can draw on? Like,
Boy, I don't know. I thought it was a guy,
it's a guy. Nelson
Mandela.
Nelly.
Right.
Okay.
So for those, which I can't, this has been around a while. I think most people know what it is. I don't know if they know that much about it.
All right. So here's what I think the basic premise of the Mandela Effect is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the Mandela Effect is when a group of people, a large group, a population, let's say, believes that something is real or a fact is there that isn't actually a fact or isn't actually real. And these days, it is a result of what I would call a pop culture internet thing. A lot of it has to do with the internet. However, Mandela, that part was before the internet. So here's the example. Nelson Mandela was alive for a long time. Nelson Mandela was a South African dissident leader who, during apartheid, and he was jailed for his views. And, the government was afraid he was going to create an uprising. And eventually, apartheid ended, and Nelson Mandela was elected president of South Africa. However, during the time he was in prison, many people thought he was dead, but he wasn't dead. Is Nelson Mandela alive? No, he's dead. So a lot of people thought he was dead. That's why it's called the Mandela Effect. If you had asked the common person about Mandela, yeah, he's dead. He's not alive still.
No.
He's dead.
Now he is.
Now he's dead.
Now next
so if
week,
you ask somebody
next
now,
week he might be alive again, though.
You never know. Well, could be. So is that I didn't describe it really well. It's something a lot of people believe that isn't really true. It's like a false history. It's like the memories are different than the actual facts. And it's something I think that is not deliberate. I don't think someone is, there's a difference between the media creating a false narrative and people just coming up with their own thoughts that are different from what is reality.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Out of all the Mandela effects that we're going to go over, was that the first one? Do you know?
No. I didn't.
No, you don't know, or no?
Well, I looked at some stuff, and there's what they call historical facts that were wrong. So, for instance, Custer, General Custer. Have you heard this?
You and I touched on it a little bit, but no one's heard that, so let's talk about that.
Southern Michigan near Battle Creek, there's Fort Custer. And when I drive by, sometimes I'll see that. I'll say Fort Custer, spelled Custer. All right. However, his real name was Custard with a D at the end. General Custard. When he was remembered by the press at the time, see, this is more deliberate, I feel. When he was remembered, people did not want to remember him as a desert. They wanted to remember him as a hero. So the D was intentionally left off, and Custer became his last name. I'm not sure what's on his tombstone. I believe it's Custard.
We'd have to look that up. I don't know.
We'd have to look it up.
Well, a lot of last names are changed. There'll be real big names.
They'd be real big names. But while he was alive, it was Custard.
Interesting. Very interesting. So Nelson Mandela, some of the people out there remember him dying in the 1980s.
Okay.
Now, I don't remember the man. In fact, the only reason I know of him is from the Mandela Effect, when this became a big thing. That's why I was asking if he was the first one.
Well, he's the first one of the current phenomena.
Yeah.
He's who it was named after.
Well, how about we go through some of these?
All right. Hit me with them.
And I'm going to kind of hit you with them. And there's a couple of them. Hopefully they're in here, I think. But one of them's this one a lot of people talk about. is Curious George. Do you remember Curious George?
Yeah, my mom read a lot of Curious George to me when I was a kid. It was a favorite. So
Well,
yeah, I remember Curious George. There was a little monkey. The monkey's name was George. There was this guy who walked around, and I think George belonged to the guy, and the guy was always dressed in yellow. He had a big yellow top hat, kind of like a cowboy hat, one of those, I don't know, real tall cowboy hats.
right.
Did those have a name?
Was it like a 5-gallon hat or something?
Yeah.
What, is that?
Yeah,
was
something
it?
like
I
a
don't know
5-gallon hat.
I don't know what
Yeah.
size it's supposed to be. How many gallons? But
Yeah, one of those big old hats. One of those guys on Bonanza wore one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Hoss, was it Hoss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody wearing those anymore. You think a country singer would come out wearing one of those big things.
Maybe I'll get one. That'd be my trademark.
Yeah.
That'd
you ought
be
to
kinda
do
cool.
that.
So, since you remember Curious George so well, did he have a tail or no?
Yeah, he had a long tail.
He had a long tail, huh? Many recall him having a tail, but he never had a tail. Did you just get hit by the Mandela effect?
I guess I did.
So these are the kind of things that
He had a long tail. It
happen.
was about as long as his body.
Nope, he did not have a tail.
Well, see, okay. Was Curious George an ape or a monkey?
I would say monkey, personally.
Oh, so monkeys have tails.
Mm-hmm.
Apes do not have tails.
Aren't apes black in color?
Black, silver, yeah.
Curious George was brown, right?
Yeah.
Or am I remembering wrong?
I think he was brown, yeah.
So it doesn't really kind of fit, does it?
And he was small. You don't see many small. A chimpanzee can be kind of small. Maybe he was a chimpanzee.
But he
but he was much thinner than right. That's an ape.
Right. But we remember tails. I remember a tail.
Right.
The next one I have here is Febreze. You know the spray that we put around and make things smell good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you know how that's actually spelled? Now, if you asked me, I'd go, no, I have no clue.
Let's go with Febreze.
All right. So that's how it's remembered, right?
Okay.
But I believe it's Febreze.
Oh, it's only got one. It only has, what I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. It only has 3 E's in the word instead of 4 E's in the word.
Correct.
Okay.
So another example. Now, this is one of my favorite ones because this is, all right, Looney Tunes.
Okay.
How is tunes spelled?
I thought it was just regular tunes, Tunes.
That's how it is. I remember it Toons. And that's what a lot of people remember it as.
Okay, because Looney was spelled Loo.
Yeah, Looney.
Okay.
So I remember the one that everyone else seems to, not everyone, but a lot of people recall it being.
Looney Tunes.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I don't remember that. But as a musician, I think I
Probably.
go through titles a lot.
Sure.
And see that in collections of music and things like that.
All right. Now, a lot of people have probably heard all these, but for the people that haven't, they're interesting. So I'm going to say these, okay? This one's like the Monopoly Man. Many of them remember him having a monocle, but he does not.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today, knowing this podcast was coming. And yeah, I mean, just right off the bat, I think of him having a monocle.
Me too.
And he doesn't, but, who does have the monocle with the top hat?
Isn't that the peanut guy? Or?
Yeah, the Planters peanut guy.
Now, I can see how that could get mixed up because they're quite...
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't. One's a man and one's a peanut.
Right.
That's different. But they both have a top hat. And do they both have a cane? I don't know if they have a cane or not.
Boy, I'm not sure on that.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's,
In my mind, that guy has a monocle and it will never change. I am not going to go back to thinking that that guy
yeah.
does not have a monocle. It doesn't really make a difference in my life, but that's how I want it to be.
Now, this one's the one, this is the one I know for a fact, and that is the fruit of the loom underwear, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Having the cornucopia, is that how it's pronounced?
The cornucopia.
It had that in the logo.
All right, so let's explain real quick. There might be a couple of people who don't know what the cornucopia is. The cornucopia is like a basket that's shaped like a horn, and it had fruit. It was laid on its side, and it had fruit coming out of it.
Right.
And that was part of the image. You're saying that there was no cornucopia. There was no basket with fruit coming out in the middle.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying it did, but everyone else, or the actual thing is no, there is not one. Now,
where did that image come from then?
I don't know. I mean, I can picture it in my head right now.
Because it had to come from somewhere.
Right, but where? It's not like the monocle. It's like there's not two things that I can think of that, I don't know.
Well, I guess
really strange.
Maybe it's an image from Thanksgiving. But in Thanksgiving, there's not a lot of fruit. Think of, corn.
Yeah, but that's not even, I don't know. I'm adjusting my mic here. I think my sound was a little bad.
All right, Mike, do your mic.
All right. Anyway, that one kind of blows me away because I do remember that. And, as a little kid, I remember, and this is the weirdest comparison, but you remember the Bugle snacks? They're called Bugles?
Yeah.
I related the two.
Oh.
It's like, how come there's a Bugle on, right, when it is a little kid?
Yeah,
so
there's some junk food on there.
Right. That's just how my mind was. But so, yeah, that one's definitely, that one's hard for me to get a grasp on. So Oscar Mayer, like the hot dogs?
Yeah, with the truck that drives around.
How's Meyer spelled?
M-E,
Is it Mayer or Meyer?
I think it's
Mayer.
M-E-Y-E-R.
That's how you remember it?
My hot dog has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My hot dog has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
That is the correct one, but some people remember M-E-Y-E-R.
Well, you got to sing the song.
Well, you know what? I forgot about that.
They don't do the song anymore, do they?
No, because of the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, so I think that's the song. My hot dog has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My hot dog has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. I don't know if that melody is correct, though. I'll have to go.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Someone will sing that for. Hey, is our call-in number ready?
It's not. Well, it kind of, but not really, because I have to test it some more. But
okay.
But you can't. If you call in, we'll have that number posted. Probably in, I don't know, the description. And if it's ready, it will be posted there. And if you want to call in with any stories, we're going to kind of get off topic, but any stories you might have, anything paranormal, whatever it might be, or if you want to comment on this.
No, here's what I want. I want you to, I would like somebody to call in and actually sing the song for me so I can remember how it goes.
So someone can sing the song.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm sure I could look it up on YouTube, but that's not as much fun.
We will get the phone number worked out hopefully this week.
Okay.
So look forward to that. And maybe you can be a big star. Once someone hears you sing that, you'll get a record contract, and there you go. So that's all it took.
Yeah.
Calling into Bizarre Encounters podcast. Anyway. So Jif or Jiffy peanut butter?
Jeff.
Jif. This one I'm kind of iffy on because I kind of think both
You're iffy
ways.
on Jiffy?
Well, I can't. They both kind of fit to me. It's
Okay.
I guess it depends on what the weather's like. I kind of want to say Jiffy, but I don't know for a fact.
I think I'd go with Jeff.
And that's spelled what?
Jif.
Correct. Okay. The reason I said that's the other one's 2 F's.
The other one's 2 F's.
Yeah. I didn't know if that'd make a difference or not. All right. So this,
You know,
oh, go
I
ahead.
thought it was just because they could save money on ink, but the Jiffy,
Isn't that funny?
I know.
They actually do that, you know. You
Yeah.
gotta save a penny per container.
yeah.
Well, ink's expensive, but all right. Did you ever watch Sex and the City? Or did you watch Sex in the City?
I didn't watch either one.
Which one do you think it is? Even though you didn't watch it.
In the City.
That's what it's remembered as, but it's actually Sex and the City.
Sex and.
And I remember it as Sex in the City. And I didn't watch it either, but I remember the commercials and I remember the logo.
Well, if you say it so fast, it Sex in the City. So in sounds like and
Okay.
and in
That makes sense.
Sex in the City. Sex in the City goes in is either and or in.
And I think a lot of these things, that's how you have to look at it, right?
Yeah.
It's how it's said, how fast it's said.
And are you really looking at the TV?
Right. There's one coming up here somewhere, a few of them. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Oh, you are?
I saw
Is it Star Wars or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Okay.
So it's Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan. That's all I can say. So in 1977, here in the local theater, as much as I hate to admit it, I was a young kid, I saw Star Wars 23 times.
Holy cow.
So when I see a Star Wars Mandela Effect, at least the original movie,
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty confident I remember it a certain way. If
All right.
anyone's an expert on it, it should be me.
And you saw it when you were a kid. I remember my dad took me to the movies. Grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and there was a movie theater in Emory Village. And I was a young kid, like first, second grade at the time. And he took me down to Emory Village to that theater next door to Everybody's Pizza Shop. And we went in and saw Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just sticks out in my mind. I'm sure I went to movie theaters before that, but I remember that one.
So before everyone says, well, how could you do that as a little kid, see it so many times? Well, the thing is, it was shown more than once a day, and I would sit through the whole thing.
Oh, you'd never leave the theater?
Never leave the theater.
Oh,
And they would let you do that back then.
wow.
So it was like a whole day thing. But multiple days. Right?
Multiple days.
Yeah. So, we couldn't afford to, to go and pay every time. But
Yeah, as a kid, at that age, I don't. All right, so tell me what the Star Wars Mandela Effect is instead of just seeing it 23 times.
all right, so we'll skip around. See here, we've got C-3PO.
Yeah.
You know, the little gold man.
Well, yeah, there was a gold man.
So was he totally gold?
Weren't his eyes a different color?
Let's talk about if his armor, let's call it armor, was his armor all gold?
I'm thinking, I mean, the armor, yes, there were some pins, I think, that move the armor on the, like the exoskeleton pins that may have been a different color. I'm thinking of him maybe his eyes.
But nothing major.
Nothing major.
All right, so he was not all gold. One leg was silver.
There was a silver leg?
Yeah, and I remember gold.
Huh.
Yeah, again.
Wow.
One leg was silver, chrome.
Okay.
Okay, so that's...
Why did he have a chrome leg?
Don't really know.
Huh. They must have run out of gold.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the one that definitely. Yeah, I can't buy that one, but that's what they say.
Okay.
And now, if you watch the movies, it's silver, but that's part of the Mandela effect. Things change, right?
Well, we had those little action figures. You remember action figures came out?
Oh yeah,
For Star Wars.
Yeah,
right after?
I had a whole bunch of them.
I'm pretty sure the action figures were all gold on the C-3PO. Maybe not.
Well, they were,
Yeah.
as far as I remember, because I had them and then they were gold. So,
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
So what about Darth Vader? Do you remember when Luke Skywalker? This wasn't the original, was it?
Okay, I came across this one when I was looking at some stuff. The thing when they cut off Luke's arm,
right,
or hand, or whatever it is, and Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father," but he doesn't really say that. He says something else, Luke. Something father.
Well, he doesn't say Luke. Well, as far as I know.
Okay.
Now, even though I saw this movie so many times, it's been a while.
Okay.
And I'm getting old and my memory's getting bad. It says, Luke, I am your father. That's how I remember it. The actual line is, no, I am your father. Who's no?
No. Well, Luke.
My name's Luke, damn it.
He must have. He must have asked a question before that.
Must be. But that's what he says. He doesn't say, Luke, I am your father, like I remember it. You'll even hear James Earl Jones in interviews say, Luke, I am your father. Not, no, I am your father. He remembers it, obviously, or someone...
As Luke, I am your father.
Right. So it's not just us. It's the people on the set remember it a certain way also.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mention the Mandela effect. He's just saying that line in an interview, and that's what came out.
Wow.
So interesting. I actually had lunch with James Earl Jones once.
No, you didn't.
I did. I have pictures. I have pictures with him.
Jones.
Okay, it wasn't lunch, but I sat at the same table with him. He sat right across from me. His wife, his assistant, himself, and his son was walking around.
What were you doing?
I was at a wedding.
At a wedding?
Yeah, we shared a table.
How about that?
And
with James Earl Jones.
Yeah, with James Earl Jones. So I have my picture with him, and he didn't talk a lot.
Yeah, he was just hanging out.
But his wife talked and told us all these stories, and
that's great,
about the hunt for Red October and different things, and it was really cool.
She must have traveled with him and done the shows with him and things like that.
Yeah, she passed away recently, which is sad. But
is he still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless the Mandela effect says something else, but. So anyway, yeah. So that's an interesting one because he remembers saying it. Or, well, I guess he remembers, but that's what he quoted in the interview. So that's interesting. Let's see what else. What else could we talk about? So I'm trying to think of some that everyone would know because some of these are like really kind of like off the wall things.
Well, do some off the wall ones.
All right. Let's see. The Ford logo.
Yeah, I know that one really well.
Yeah.
I've lived in Michigan for 30 years.
All right. So some people, this is kind of hard to explain, so I'm just going to say what this is. Some people remember it as a curly F.
Yeah, it's a curly F. It's not like a. Yeah.
Oh, without.
It's a cursive F.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I might have read that wrong for my notes here, but it says some remember it without the curly F. Is that what I said?
Yeah.
So, but it is curly.
Oh, it is curly.
No, I'm asking you. Is it?
Well,
is
I think
curly?
okay. So what they're talking about is the top line
That has
across,
like a curl.
the T, the top T, the top part of the F.
Right. Okay.
There's a curl on the left side that begins that line, and I think that's there.
Okay. Let's see. What else is good?
Is it there?
I don't. Some remember it without the curly. So no, it is there.
It is there. Okay.
Yeah. I am reading notes, everyone, because there's so many of these things. It's just crazy. There's no way to.
You can't remember them all. You didn't.
No.
Okay.
In fact, I've got so many here, and I think there's a lot more.
All right, keep going.
Let's see.
Hit me.
Well, I'm trying to find something. Okay. Cheez-It.
Cheez-Its. Okay.
All right.
C
Okay.
H E E Z dash IT.
Okay. Do you remember a Z after the IT?
Oh, Cheez-Its. No.
I remember Cheez-Its. I've always called it Cheez-Its, and I can't tell you if it's had the Z or not. That's just how I remember pronouncing
Cheez-Its.
it. And that could be me because,
Yeah.
I can't speak very well.
Does it have the Z? People
No,
remember
it does not have a Z.
People remember it with the Z,
right.
but it does
I
not.
kind of want to say I do, but I can't say for sure. But that's interesting. So cup of noodles. How is that how it's supposed to be? Cup of noodles?
Cup of
Which I've
noodles.
never had, by the way. But
Cup, like with a dash noodles. Cup of noodles. Or
so
cup a noodles or cup of noodles? Is that?
it's cup noodles.
Oh, it's just cup noodles.
I always remembered it couple noodles
Oh,
with an
okay.
O in the center and parentheses, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not really parentheses, but so to me that's what it should be. But
Okay.
yeah, cup noodles just
Cup
doesn't.
noodles.
It sounds like it's missing something. All right, here's one. Dr. Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle. Okay.
How do you see that, Doc? Because you're a doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Doolittle. I see. Are you talking about the spelling?
The spelling, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Doolittle has D-O-O little. That's what I think.
So Dr. Doolittle, you say is what? Dr. D what now?
I said D zero, not zero. Geez. D-O-O-L-I-T-T.
Okay, that's not right.
It's not right.
Most people remember Dr. Doolittle, last name, or I'm sorry, Dr. D-O-C-T-O-R D-O-L-I-T-T-L-E.
Yeah.
The correct way is D-R period D-O-L-I-T-T-L-E.
Just one O after D.
Right. So it's just Dr. D-R, the abbreviation. It's not actually doctor spelled out, right?
Okay.
I kind of remember the doctor spelled out. You're remembering something even more different than I am.
Okay.
But anyway, that's kind of strange too. Because a lot of these things you can visualize in your head, what you remember seeing, How about this one? Now, a lot of people have probably heard this one, but I find this one really interesting. All right. So what was it? The wicked itch.
The Wicked Itch.
I've had a few of those.
Oh.
The Wicked Witch.
That sounds like the name of a rock band.
Was
The
it-
Wicked Itch.
Actually, that's a good name. Should we patent that?
Yeah, we should.
I like that. That's actually really good. That's how you stumble on to good things,
Yeah.
right? So was it the Wicked Witch and Snow White, the mirror, mirror?
Well, I thought the Wicked Witch,
No, that's Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Who was the Snow White bad lady there? A queen or something?
So she was Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Who's the greatest of them all? Okay. I remember this one. The mirror, mirror phrase is different.
Right.
When she would look into the mirror, she said something else. What did she say?
So what do you think it is? Or what do you...
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
So it was... That's not right. That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
I think that's how pretty much everyone remembers it. I could be wrong. It's actually magic mirror on the wall.
Oh, magic mirror on the wall, not mirror, mirror.
Now, yeah, I don't even know what to say about that because I remember it. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Magic mirror on the wall.
Here's a fun one. Mr. Rogers. Have you heard this one? You're a musician. Mr. Rogers' theme song.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Oh, no, won't you be mine? Something like that?
Right, but it's not.
It's not?
You say it's a beautiful day. Excuse me. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't have the actual, but that's not right. I think it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
What?
Yeah, look that up.
I'm going to look up real quick and see.
Now that's another one like mirror, mirror. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And then you have this neighborhood. Is that right?
A beautiful day in this neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. I don't know that.
I thought it was the.
Right.
I thought it was the neighborhood. I'll have to.
All right, here we are. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor.
That's the correct way.
That's the correct way. But I never knew it as this neighborhood.
I remember the neighborhood.
Something else. The music and lyrics were by Fred Rogers.
Right. I did know that.
I didn't know that.
All right. Did you ever see Casablanca?
Yeah.
What was the phrase that it was a big phrase? Play it
Play
again.
it again, Sam.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It was never said in the movie.
Well, I don't know if I actually really saw the whole movie. But, okay, what did he say?
It doesn't say. It just says it was never said in that movie. So was it from some other movie and people get it mixed up with that movie? Because it's obviously a phrase I've heard before. Play it again, Sam.
Play it again, Sam. I don't know. That's crazy.
Because I can't say that I knew it came from that movie. It makes sense.
Right.
After, seeing that. But it's definitely a phrase.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Play it again, Sam. I've never heard that. Yeah, that goes hand in hand with that movie. So I don't know.
Well, according to this, we're wrong.
Well, I guess we're wrong. Someone will have to call in and correct us.
Do you remember the portrait of Henry VIII, holding a turkey leg?
I can think of a portrait of a big, heavy-set king. I don't remember the whole turkey leg thing.
I don't either. But it kind of sounds familiar, but it sounds more like something I saw in like Bugs Bunny or as a kid, right? It doesn't seem like I've seen an actual portrait.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like a Renaissance type painting.
Yeah, that one's interesting.
What about the location of the castle at Disney World?
Oh, speaking of locations, we'll come back to the one I'm thinking about.
Okay. So, have you ever been to Disney World?
I have, and
Where is the castle located as you go when you are at Disney World parking lot? Where is the castle located?
well, I can't say I know that. I know it was at the end of Main Street, I believe.
At the end of Main Street, yeah. Apparently, a lot of people remember it being at the very beginning of the park.
I don't remember that.
I don't either. I remember having to walk down Main Street to get there.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that. It's been many years.
You know, the biggest one beside the Mandela is the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, so how's that spelled? Or how's it pronounced?
Okay, I thought it was all E's. Berenstain. And I thought it was Berenstain.
That's how I think I remember it, but it's not that.
It's got an A in there somewhere.
It's Bernstein instead of Steen.
Bernstein. And is it B-E-R or B-E-R? Is it B-E-R-N or B-E-R-E-N?
E-N.
Okay, and then Stain.
S-T-A-I-N.
Okay, Berenstain Bears.
Bernstein, I wasn't into those guys, but I sure think it was Bernstein.
Yeah, I remember Berenstain. Berenstain is what I remember.
Yeah, Berenstain.
Berenstain.
Like Pikachu. You've heard of him. I'm not into that.
Yeah, but what about Pikachu?
So it's his tail.
Yeah.
Does it have a black area on the tip of the tail, or is it just the same color?
I don't know.
I remember it being black.
Okay.
But it's not.
It's the same color.
Yeah, and this is just from pictures. I never followed that stuff, but I could have swore it.
Aren't there some logos?
Like what? Kit Kat?
Okay, what's up with the Kit Kat logo?
All right. So how's that spelled? Since you're such a great English.
Oh, Kit Kat is spelled with K's.
Right.
K-I-T-K-A-T.
Okay. Is there something missing?
Like a hyphen?
The dash, right?
The dash, yeah.
So
I don't think there's a dash.
So I remember it with a dash. There's no dash.
Okay.
I do remember it with a dash.
Okay.
What about Coca-Cola? Does that have a hyphen?
Yes. Coca-Cola has a hyphen.
Okay, that's correct. I can't say that I remember it like they're saying without the hyphen.
Yeah.
But some people do.
Well, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and Coca-Cola was produced, and the world headquarters are in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm very familiar with Coca-Cola.
How about now? This is kind of something that's interesting. And this one was just a couple years ago. I was kind of blown away by it. How many people were in JFK's limousine when he was killed?
Okay. I know the answer to this one because I looked through and saw this one up too. Okay, so the common belief, and this is what I thought, was that it was the driver, some kind of person up front.
I think it was the governor.
Yeah. And then in the back was JFK and his wife.
That's how I remember it.
Apparently, that limousine, which was a convertible, who came up with that? Anyway, it's a limousine, and it had a middle row of seats.
Right.
And the middle row of seats held the governor and the governor's wife. Is that right?
I'm not sure of
Who it held.
who it held, who was.
There was a front row of seats with a driver and maybe a Secret Serviceman.
Maybe.
So there were 6 people in the car.
Right.
And then the second row held a government official, let's say the governor and his wife. There was a wife. And then the third row was JFK and Jackie.
Right.
Jackie O.
Now, I believe those are fold down seats because they have the car at the Henry Ford Museum.
Okay.
And you can kind of look in, but I believe they're fold down seats they were sitting on.
Okay.
It wasn't like an actual bench seat or whatever.
All right.
But yeah, I don't remember. Well, 4 people. There's a lot of weird things about that, obviously.
That could be a whole episode in itself.
Right.
That's the original conspiracy.
Right. So locations.
Locations.
Where's your heart located in your chest?
Right there where you put your hand for the Star Spangled Banner and Pledge Allegiance.
Where's that?
Upper left quadrant, I would call it.
So that's how I remember it, but that's not true.
It's right in the middle.
It's right in the middle.
Okay.
I was always told
That's why they have to crack your chest.
Right.
I am not that kind of doctor.
I know.
However, you give me $50,
You'll diagnose anything.
I'll pull a tooth for you.
Oh well, geez, I don't talk about that. I have to go to the dentist this week.
I got some shears. I can even cut off a toe, cauterize it.
Oh geez,
patch it up for you.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Double stuff Oreos.
Yeah. What about double stuffs?
How's stuff spelled?
Isn't it stuffed?
No.
Okay. STUFF.
No, that's not.
STU.
That's how I remember it.
STUF.
Just one F.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. Saving on ink.
So the movie, Interview with a Vampire or Interview with the Vampire?
Interview with a Vampire.
That's how I remember it, but it's the Vampire.
I read that book, I believe. That book, Anne Rice. I believe that was Anne Rice.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll know soon enough when someone comments.
Yeah, that was a great one.
All right, so here's one. Houston, we have a problem. Is that right?
Yeah, that was from the Apollo 13 movie. Houston, we have a problem. And, that's what was said when the spaceship was coming back from the moon.
Right.
And it fell out of orbit or something like that.
So, well, that's when they had the explosion.
Oh, they had an explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So you're talking
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. Okay.
So that's not what they actually said.
All right.
It says, Houston, we've had a problem.
Oh, we've had a problem.
Yeah. I remember it. Houston, we have a problem. But no, it's the other way. We
Houston.
had a problem, like in past tense.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. How about this one? Life is like a box of chocolates. Did I say that right?
I've sat on that bench, which is not actually really that bench, but they say it's the bench.
Oh.
Something about, but yeah, Savannah, that park, that bench.
Oh, okay.
I love Savannah.
Never been there. I'd like to go.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know if I'd like.
Very haunted.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's very haunted. They love that Southern haunting folklore down there.
Right.
So
there's a lot of tours for hauntings and stuff down there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
They love stories.
life is like a box of chocolates. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
No, that's not correct. Life was like a box of chocolates, which doesn't.
That was his mom.
Yeah.
And life was like a box of chocolates. Or was that him that said that?
He said it, I believe.
Okay. Life was like a box. He said my mom said life was like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get.
Right. Interesting one. Let's see if there's anything else that's going to trip anyone's trigger. I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of them. Yeah. I think I would like to talk about the one I had personally.
All right, let's hear about your personal experiences with Mandela effects.
Oh boy, probably 15 years ago, 16 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I was driving through a town near us. I won't disclose the town. And I looked over at the train station that set over to the left, and it was gone. It wasn't there anymore.
Wow.
And I'm like, with the person with me, I said, where's the train station? It's a very picturesque train station.
All right.
It sat off the road, and there was like a little road that came from that road to the train station.
Okay.
And she said, I don't know. Where did it go? It was right there. It wasn't there. It's never been there. And there was a train station, but not at that location. So it wasn't just me. It was with the person, and I've talked to other people in the past. I said, do you remember that train station? Oh, yeah. I said, it's not there, right? What are you talking about? So
So you created a Mandela effect.
Maybe. But that was, I can still picture that station in my head. I remember a guy that painted that station.
Really?
Very, very weird. Now, everyone talked about the end of the world, right, in 2012. The Mayan calendar, the end of the world.
Well, same thing in 1999.
So this seems to be, as far as I can tell, when the Mandela Effect started.
Okay, so now we're going into a different part of the program.
We are going. Why? Do you want to do something else?
No, let's say we're going into theories about the Mandela effect.
And I know you're skeptical, and I'm glad you are, because it'd be a boring show if no one. So anyway, the Mandela Effect, the theory is that it started around 2012.
Okay.
Now, of course, the Mayan calendar, everyone said the world was going to end, and there was all this, pseudoscience, whatever. Nothing happened, as far as we know.
As far as we know.
All right. But there is some odd things that go along with 2012. And one of the Mandela Effect theories is that CERN had something to do with it.
CERN.
So CERN, right?
All right, wait. Okay, so CERN, I have to dig deep for this.
Sure.
Is there's like a atom machine, an atom collider that's like the size, I don't know, it maybe even goes into 3 different countries in Europe.
I believe
it's so huge.
I believe don't quote me, but I believe it's 15 miles.
Yeah.
It's the world's largest. Okay.
Yeah.
The American one.
It's a tube.
Yeah. The American one that was going to go in Texas before it was shot down was going to be even bigger.
Okay.
But then the Europeans say, we'll do it. So they built one.
Okay.
Right.
So it's what do they call that now? What is it?
It's called the Hadron Collider, LHC, right? For short.
And it is that's what it's called, but what is atom collider.
It's the world's largest, most powerful particle accelerator.
Particle accelerator.
Yeah.
And then they speed them up, and then they smash them together.
They do. And you have to remember, this is so quick. I can't remember. The speed of light is, now, again, don't quote me. I'm trying to go by my bad memory. The speed of light is equal to going around the Earth 5 times in a second. That's the speed of light. So if you were to move something that fast, it could go around 5 times. That's the speed of light. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is what this does. It's basically, I believe, again, don't quote me, the speed of light. This goes, and it's run by magnets.
So the speed of light, let's say the Earth's circumference, I think it's 25,000 miles. So the speed of light is 125,000 miles per second.
Right.
Okay.
Now this is just what I've read. Now
okay.
I haven't looked.
We might be
this.
wrong.
We might be.
Someone can call in and tell us.
Well, I hope they do. I would like to know what the truth is about this, right? Because it's very interesting.
All right, so keep going on.
So in 2012,
okay, I think I know where you're going.
In 2012, they did something or tried to do something. I don't know if they actually did it, but they were going to try to discover the God particle.
All right. Yeah, I've heard of the God particle.
Okay, and that's, I believe, the particle that would tell them how the universe was created or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. But with that said, there's speculation that they opened a black hole doing it. And by doing this, pretty much destroyed the world and shot us into the next alternate reality or parallel universe. So that's why we have, in theory, these people say, everything's normal to an extent, but there's some things that are off. And that's why they think this Mandela effect, we do remember it a certain way because we were on that other parallel universe plane of Earth before it was destroyed. But we were shot into this one so quick, we never even knew it happened. Now, don't ask me anything about how this happens. I don't know. But this is a theory that the original Earth was destroyed and we're on the next one closest to it. The next plane closest to it.
All right.
All right. So this is just a theory, but it is interesting.
So then all the Mandela effects before 2012 would be explained that way, but the ones after 2012 would not be explained that way.
So what ones were before 2012?
Well, Mandela, Planner's Peanut, Ford, Pikachu, maybe. I mean, a lot of those were before. Jif peanut butter.
Well, you mean people were realizing that it was different before 2012? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. But there have been many things since 2012 that are Mandela effects. And because the internet has created Mandela effects also.
Right.
And the internet was not big yet in 2012, I want to say. I first used the internet in 2006.
I first used it, I believe, in 1998.
Oh, wait. No, you're right.
I
used it. I'm a decade off. I used it in 1996 at U of M. That's the first time I used it.
Right.
And I was at U of M studying, and I had a computer lab, and we had we used the internet, and the professor said, look, I've created this place that you can go to, and it has several different sites on it that you can go see, because it was before search engines. So he had to go looking for all these things and find out from other people where these sites were, and he collected like 15 sites that we could go look at. And then, comes along AOL, and then you could start searching for some sites.
That's what I started when I started doing it other than work.
Yeah.
That's what I had is AOL.
And then,
Oh, what a big deal that was. You know what was the biggest part of it?
What's that?
Being on the watch a video.
Oh.
And they were grainy videos.
Yeah,
they weren't even good.
Yeah, they weren't
it's
even
like,
good.
wow.
I'm watching a video on the internet.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right, we got sidetracked.
Yeah, we do that.
All right, we're on a particle collider and parallel universe. I think that's pretty far-fetched.
It is.
So that'd be more like a conspiracy theory.
But we can say this.
Yeah.
We can say this. And again, everyone do their own research. I'm going by what I've read and heard. That it's our theorists. I'm trying to think, nuclear physicists or physicists.
Okay.
Physicists.
Yeah.
Say that there are other planes, there are other dimensions. They pretty much, if you do your research, they say that they believe there's so many of them, and they give you a number. So they believe they exist. Now that doesn't tell me much, like how do you get there, how's this work, But that's something we probably should have checked into because it's really quite interesting. But that's almost another show too.
All right, that's another show, Parallel Universes.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
That this isn't just like a made up thing. There is some theory to it, but
yeah. Okay. I can go with that.
let's hear your skeptic stuff. I want to hear that.
I've had our memories are faulty.
Oh, I'm sharp as a tack.
They're faulty. Everyone's so eyewitness accounts are not always correct.
Right.
And so these are things I just thought about on my own. Why would the Mandela Effect exist, and what makes it so prevalent? So I came up with a 2-part theory.
Oh, great! You've heard it here for the first time.
So I'll just go ahead and give you the basic outline, the 2 basic thoughts where I went with this. One is that eyewitness theories and the way our brains work, seeing things, is not correct all the time. And we know that based on accounts, and they can study accounts. We'll get into that. And then the second part is hive theory. Hive theory, beehive theory, how the group acts.
Right.
So that's all right. So the first part, your memory, we have imperfect memories of what happened. When something happens and it's an eyewitness account, we often have emotional responses to that memory. Not saying that we have an emotional response to Jiffy peanut butter, but in an eyewitness account, there are emotional responses. And there's also memory distortion. Things don't always happen quite chronologically the same. Things that may have appeared big to you do not stand out as much as it really happened. And there's some things you may have looked away for a second, or you may maybe even blinked your eyes, and your brain, what the word used is confabulates. There's confabulation where your brain, like AI, so AI is supposed to mimic your brain, creates imagery and memories, creates memories that aren't there to fill in the gaps.
Correct.
So eyewitness accounts cannot always be correct because, you don't exactly, you see a person at night, let's say, and you may misjudge the color of their clothes, or facial features or what are or their actions or what exactly where they were. And also, it's believed that every memory changes is with every time you recall it. So when you pull up a memory out of your memory box inside your brain, it can change or it is suggestible to change. So when you remember something as a kid and then you get older and you remember it again, it's something else. Or, for instance, artwork. To me, say, wow, I saw that piece of art 10 years ago. And then you go back and look at it again. You've had life experiences. And the artwork is different. It's reframed,
Right.
to say. So your experiences in life have an influence on your memories. So what you remember has changed. And then there's also suggestibility. If someone says, hey, this is the story and this is what happened. I don't, okay. Yeah. Like you were suggesting to people that this is where
Right.
that was.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, you're right. That's where it was. So you recounted that.
Is this how cult leaders start?
Well, maybe.
Suggesting and people follow, right?
Yeah. Well, and then a lot of that has to do with charisma too.
Right.
Yeah, that's another episode.
Yeah.
That is another episode. So then that leads me into what I would, then I thought about, okay, so if our memories aren't correct, that's one thing. The other thing, though, is how do big groups of people get confused or recollect the wrong thing? Because, your imagery of yours was not a whole bunch of people, but the imagery of the Mandela Effect or of the Berenstain Bears is great. So then I went into hive theory. And hive theory, I'm going to read this, and it's a note. I don't know if I jot down things kind of weird. Uncritically is where you would uncritically adopt the same behavior or mentality of a group or unequivocally accept fads and trends. So, like in modern fashion, someone comes up and says, hey, this looks good. So people are like, oh, well, that's the new trend. I'm going to follow it. Or this music sounds good. Oh, that's the new fashion. We're going to follow that just because the internet says so. So, or our group mentality is changed easily and quickly.
Kind of like propaganda.
Propaganda. Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Where you can change people's attitudes by propaganda. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be political here, but it's the same kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The hive mentality.
Right.
Where you go with the group.
Right.
Go with the flow.
Yeah. Get him. Yeah. Let's get him.
Let's get him.
Right. What did he do? I don't know, but let's get him.
So, same thing. Yeah. Mob mentality.
Right.
And then they talk about
riots. Things,
yeah.
Right.
And on the internet, we gravitate towards material that is something we want to read.
Mm-hmm.
We don't go look at stuff we don't want to read.
Right.
So what that becomes is an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So we're, constantly looking at the stuff of other people that agree with us, and we don't have outside opinions, and we're in that group think.
Right.
We're in that group think.
We start to lose our individuality, right?
Right.
And
yeah.
so to speak, not
So part of these Mandela effects, I feel, are a part of groupthink that were suggested somehow. And I don't think it's a result of a parallel universe. I just think it somehow was suggested. And now we're like, oh, yeah, okay, so that's how it was. I don't think it's something supernatural. I think it's a memory issue.
So I could agree with you 100%,
Okay.
except for, and I'm not going against what you're saying,
Well,
but when the words, yes, but when I have a visual of something like the cornucopia, right?
yeah.
That's hard to, I don't know. To me, that'd be hard to conjure up because I can remember seeing it.
That's the eyewitness.
Is that what it is?
That's where I was going,
Right.
but the eyewitness effect and your confabulation of memory.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
as soon as one
interesting.
says the cornucopia, then your brain thinks the cornucopia, and you go, okay, there's a cornucopia on the fruit of the loom. Yeah, that was there. But
Well, they make it difficult now because of this. You'll see pictures of it with it and without it because they're trying to compare.
Oh,
And now
okay.
you actually do have a
Do see
visual.
it.
And then you lose track of when you actually saw that. Are you actually just taking what you're seeing on, say, the internet now, the pictures?
Right.
Or are you actually remembering that instead of going, oh, yeah, that's what I saw?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't know if you're being being suggested. This is
Right.
right,
And a lot of people just don't pay attention to things.
right. They'll
So,
take the time, yeah.
I see, and I for funniness, I look on, or for humor, I look at things online where the common folk on the street,
Right.
some of these late night hosts do
Oh
things
yeah, I've
like
seen
that.
those.
And when was the Civil War?
Right, 1905.
Yeah, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Who fought in the Revolution?
Who won World War II? Whatever.
Yeah, and they, who's the vice president? Oprah Winfrey. And so,
Yeah, that's actually
it's crazy how much people don't know. I mean, what are the branches of government people don't know?
So that comes to interests. If you just don't have the interest,
If you just don't have the
know.
interest and you don't know,
Right.
and then someone just suggests something to you, oh, okay, that's the truth.
Yeah, because I haven't paid attention to it. Right.
Or they're highly suggestible people.
Right. That's why some people can be hypnotized and some can't.
Yeah.
Right. I can't be hypnotized very well.
Oh, you can't
I've tried it.
Have you? I don't think I've ever tried it.
I can do self-hypnosis pretty good, but to have someone do it to me, no, I can't do that.
That's another, hypnosis is another area we ought to discuss.
Well, I don't know a lot about it. I can.
I do have a buddy.
Yeah.
That's a good idea for maybe a guest.
Who's this?
He is a friend of mine from college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He'd be good to talk to. That'd be fun.
About hypnosis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He does hypnosis
Oh wow.
therapy.
Yeah. See, I've tried to quit smoking. I took the whole hypnosis. Didn't do anything.
It didn't.
No. But I can relax. I use it more of a relaxation technique, not a change your life thing.
Yeah.
Like if I can't sleep, I can relax myself. It's kind of like a
With
self-hypnosis.
the hypnosis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start with your feet, work your way up type thing. And that does work for me, but I can't say, dance around like a chicken, and that doesn't work.
That brings it back. I just saw a show on TV. Oh, it was crazy. All right. So, we're getting towards the end of our hour.
Or two.
So look, I talked about what my theories on it are, and you presented a theory that's out there. What are your real feelings on this?
Oh boy.
3 minutes or less. Go.
I'm very, you just influenced me. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could give you some kind of an answer. I enjoy theories. Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be cool? We can be destroyed and we just pick up on another parallel plane. Well,
yeah.
Well, how do you prove that? Right.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I like listening to the theories, but I consider it more of an entertaining thing, right?
Okay.
I don't take it super serious.
Yeah.
But
it is for entertainment purposes only.
It is. But, there are things that it's like, wow, that's really strange, But what you said is very eye-opening.
Yeah.
And, I think the propaganda, the different things, how people can be influenced by just the environment and what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, one person says it, just like I did with the train station, which I still believe was there.
It can spread like wildfire.
I mean, I do believe it was. I remember it there.
Yeah.
But was it a dream? That I'm remembering a dream I had, or something like that. I don't know.
That's how rumors get started.
Right. But I think it's a very interesting topic. It's interesting how so many people are affected by it. But if what you're saying is true, it ought to teach us not to believe everything we hear, obviously.
Right.
Research it. And you just asked me, what do you think it is? I don't know. But reach into yourself and try to figure it out. I'm one of those people, I'm trying not to be a follower, but it doesn't mean I'm not being influenced and I become a follower without knowing I become a follower.
Oh, yeah. Well,
right.
I speak English.
I kind of do.
Because I live in a society that speaks English.
Right.
I use dollar bills because I live in a society, so we're all followers.
We're all followers.
We don't have a choice.
We don't have a choice. Right.
We have to follow the rules of society in one way or another.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Well,
then some parts of our society have suggestibility to it. So.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I'm open to the discussion always. What I walk away with it, I don't know, just whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I guess, and not to bring, religion into it, but for example, the Bible, people will read the Bible, get something out of it, another person gets something else out of it. You go with what you think is right,
The priesthood of the believer.
Right, because I think things are meant for you only, right? So your opinions, you shouldn't be influenced. Obviously, you want to be on the good side of the force. You don't want to be on the bad side.
Yeah.
But you want to be an individual. But you don't want to be influenced by anything without knowing it. So basically, just research. Be careful what you listen to. Don't be a follower. Use your own head, your own brain. Try to figure it out for yourself. And if you have questions, talk to your friends, family, or whatever. No idea about the Mandela Effect, but man, it's fun to talk about.
It's quite entertaining. And you know what? If a new one comes up, I'll jump right on it and look and see what's coming up because, I can't wait to see what the next one will be.
Just ask AI in a year to tell you everything you need to know.
New Mandela Effects for the year 2024.
Yeah, I think it was fun. It's maybe a slower podcast, but we've got some things we're thinking about doing in the future. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hang around with us. If you like this show, leave us a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It'd be greatly appreciative. Next time, Phil maybe will be here. He wasn't able to come today.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why
I love Phil's stories.
Yeah, we actually went out and bought a copy of his book.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
I'm going to read it.
Says, you don't have the book? No.
I don't have.
So
a
I
book.
bought it.
You got me a book.
Anyway, so maybe next time he'll be here, hopefully. But you want to wrap it up then?
Yeah.
Or do you have more to say?
Hey, everybody out there. I hope you enjoy the show. It's great to be able to talk to you. I'm happy to be on a podcast. It's fun. It's different than
fun to
anything
talk.
I've ever done.
It's fun to talk. It's fun to hang out. And hopefully you guys can all enjoy everything we talk about. And maybe some of it you won't. But
Yeah. Hey,
you're part of the
if
family.
you don't enjoy part of what we're talking about, hit the fast forward button and see if you enjoy the next part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe you'll hear us say the end, and that'll be your favorite part.
Boom. Meeting adjourned.
Right.
My favorite word.
So again, our goal is to do one a week. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you know what? It might, because the summer's coming up. We're going to have a little extra time possibly. So we'll see how it goes. I would really like to take it on the road once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't talked too much about it, but I think I would enjoy that.
Is it possible to take the equipment on the road?
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
stuff? Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
All right.
We can do it. We'll
We've talked
make
about
it happen.
About doing a show from the boat.
The boat? Wouldn't that be fun? You know, we
Yeah.
could do. Everyone would say, why am we here in all this water? We might want to make sure we tell them we're on the boat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Phil and I would go to, we went to a convention, we set up and did a live show from there. And
Hey, don't they have a convention in the UP that's like the biggest one in the
pretty big.
nation?
Well, I don't know if it's a nation, but it's a big one.
Well, I've heard it's like the biggest paranormal convention in the nation.
It could be. Could be a lot of big names.
It's this summer or maybe in August.
I'm not sure. We should check in on that. I love the UP.
Because I listened to another podcast that I really enjoy, and they were talking about that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do. We have a little ghost investigation to do that we did last year.
A ghost investigation?
Well, you know, I played you those audio clips.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They haven't heard it, but what did you think of those clips? The EVPs that we recorded.
They're kind of spooky.
They were kind of spooky, weren't they?
They're kind of spooky. You know, I'm a skeptic with ghosts.
Right.
I'm not opposed to going and looking at them. However, at the same time, I don't want any ghosts to get attacked. If there are ghosts,
don't come home with me.
I don't want anything coming home with me.
No, we don't want that. But
you know, I went to I really enjoy the stories. I enjoy the stories.
Right.
My daughters and I went to, or my daughter and her friend, and we went to that prison down in Mansfield, Ohio, where the Ohio State Reformatory,
right,
where they filmed Shawshank Redemption. And that place is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in America.
Right. And
it was just wildly entertaining to go there. And
you had some experiences there, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got a lot on the plate. We're thinking a lot. We'd like suggestions. Someone did mention in the comments that they thought, hey, why don't you do video? Well, someday we hope to. But that costs a little cash, and it's a lot of technical stuff for me to take care of. We need a, what do you call it? An intern. We need an intern.
An intern,
to
all right.
help run the board and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Anyway. Well, I guess that's all we have for now. I don't know what our next show is going to be about. We really haven't thought that far, but hopefully it'd be something you'd be interested in. So.
We have a couple of ideas. You
got some?
Yeah.
All right. That's good. It's less I have to think. All right.
They just come to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably think of some too, and I will. But I wanted to get through this one. And but anyway, we're having fun, so hopefully you do too. And we hope you become part of the family. So we will talk to you soon. Are we signing out now, or?
Yeah.
All right.
Talk to you later, folks.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. All right.
That's bye, y'all.
Is that our new catch ending phrase?
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Is that like buy things or buy?
B-Y-E. B-Y-E.
Okay, that
Bye.
is buy y'all.
And then y'all.
Y'all.
Y-A-L-L. Now, if you're fancy, you can put a apostrophe after the Y. But I like saying bye, y'all.
Do I have to change the logo now?
Well, maybe at the end you say bye, y'all.
Would it be hello, y'all?
Oh, no, I don't do a hello, y'all. We'll have to come up for something for the beginning. But I like bye, y'all. I've said that thousands of times.
All right. Well, that's the new catch ending phrase. All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you, a week from now?
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one. Be safe, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.